Hello, friends, and happy Sunday. I hope you are enjoying your weekend. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. I'm here today with the VCT Game Changers Academy presented by Verizon and AIM Labs. And I am your host, Cute Noob, and I am here along with Jojo and Maru. Hi, friends. How are you?
Hello.
Today, after a very long weekend for these ladies, we are here with the finals, the two best of the best, Polaris versus Dart Monkeys. It's gonna be a crazy roller coaster, but before we get into that, I want to talk about, first off, what does it mean to be first place? And first place, it means that these women will not only get the VCT Game Changers Academy title as champions, but they're also going to receive $1,000. And second place will be getting that $500. I want to give a super duper shout out to Gallerants for putting these tournaments together. If you are unaware what Gallerants is, it is a community for non-binary and females to come together and get involved in esports, whether it's producing, casting, gaming, moderating, anything you can imagine under the sun of esports, you can be a part of here at Gallerants. So make sure you do !Gallerants and join us over on the Discord channel. Let's talk about these teams, guys. Polaris. What do we know about Polaris? Let's start off with you, Mara.
Well, obviously the story kind of this tournament, I think that's sort of overshadowing it with Polaris is their, hashtag sign Polaris movement. Polaris themselves posted a couple weeks ago, actually, after Sakura Cup. Basically, this is leading up to one of their last chances to make it or break it. They have, really knocked it out of the park. They're like number 12, I think, overall in standings. They've beat numerous signed teams, and yet they themselves remain unsigned. And so Polaris posted, hey, this is it. We really want to get to the 2022 LAN, and if we don't make it, that might be the end of the road for us. And so as we've seen in the past few days, they're coming out with a vengeance. They want to win, and they want to win big. And I mean, so far they haven't dropped a single map in the entire GCA so far. And even going into today, completely undefeated. Hard to get topper of the seed than that.
That's so true. Jojo, what do you have for us for Dart Monkeys?
So Dart Monkeys, it was very, very tough for them. Even in the group stage, we know that their record was 2-1 in the group stage, and it did come down to that round differential. So it wasn't even a guarantee that they would make it into our playoff phase, but we were able to watch them a little bit yesterday. I know me and Mauro were able to cast one of their games, and then we followed their semifinal as well. And although a lot of those maps seemed pretty decisive, even on Ascent, where they narrowly beat their opponents 13-11. That's sometimes a little bit scary when that's your last map before this final today, especially when you're going up against Polaris, who, as we stated before, has not dropped a map yet during this tournament. So it's a very, very heavy task for Dart Monkeys today. They are going to have to be hyped and optimistic coming into this one.
Yeah, it's scary, but you guys were talking. Yeah, Polaris hasn't dropped a map, and the only team that brought it close to almost a loss was 1994 Supra, which was also another team that was undefeated up until that point as well. I think we talked about it in the background, Mara and I, and we were like, well, 1994 was a pretty stacked team. They were really good. They were also known as Ari's Money Crew on, was it Nights, I believe, as well. So it wasn't surprising, I feel like, to us. It was kind of like, oh, it's cool that someone could give Polaris a run for their money. But it was unfortunate that they met at the semifinals. And I mean, fortunate for Polaris to be here at the finals. For Dart Monkeys, I have to say, though, I have to give them a lot of power and a lot of good critique, because they came back from a deficit. They were actually down the first half of Ascent pretty badly, actually. It was looking like it was going to be Final Form who was going to take that map and even bring it into the third map, but somehow, some way, Dart Monkeys just found their way back and made it through it and were victorious at the end. So they have tons of heart, and they've had a long journey, I have to say. A lot of these, like, they even went to a third map. And like you said, Jojo, they scaved their way through groups. So they have some type of luck, good juju on their side. I hope that juju shows up today for these 3 maps. But before we talk more about these 3 maps, it's someone's birthday, guys. It's someone's very, very special birthday. And I was wondering, chat, if you guys could come along with us and say happy birthday to our amazing observer. I've heard people call her Pogger Observer. Casey, thank you so much. Happy birthday. We love and appreciate you. You make our job so much easier. I speak for myself and also the casters.
Of course.
You make the narrating absolutely amazing. So, okay, let's talk about these 3 maps that we're going to be observing throughout this final. We have what is going to be Icebox. We're going to also be going to Breeze, and we're going to actually, first map is going to be Breeze. How do we feel about Breeze, Jojo?
I mean, we've seen what Polaris could do on Breeze. They are very decided on Breeze. They're very aggressive, and they have no fear, even on defense on Breeze. So I'm kind of thinking this is their map pick. They are feeling very, very confident with it. And if they're able to secure that first map, it's going to give them a positive outlook for the remaining 2 maps. But yeah, I mean, Polaris not really afraid of playing any of these maps. They were able to ban both Fracture and Split, which are arguably their 2 worst maps. So any map after that, they're comfortable playing. They know what they're doing. They've got their team strats and their synergy. I'm not worried about them at all.
Maru, what are we thinking about this Breeze choice?
So I always kind of wonder, because Polaris really, I mean, they don't have bad maps. I guess Fracture, which most teams don't like, and Split, which also seems like a divisive one. So getting rid of Fracture just kind of feels like whatever, because I don't know if any team is truly comfortable on Fracture enough to where you'd worry about it. So maybe that'll be something we'll start seeing soon. But yesterday, we saw both these teams on Breeze, and yes, they both did pretty well, but Polaris really did well on Breeze, like dominatingly so. Dart Monkeys also pretty good performance, and I think it's kind of interesting because Jojo mentioned that Polaris is very aggressive, and Dart Monkeys are also fairly aggressive, especially on defense. They like to get picks and maybe push out of sight. So we'll see. I think Breeze, if I had to predict though, I feel like it's Polaris's to lose because they definitely have dominated this map the entire weekend. Honestly, all the maps are kind of so I think Dart Monkeys have an uphill battle, and Dart Monkeys may not miss, but they also still have to beat Polaris. So we'll find out as we get ready. I think we're about to go to Agent Select.
Yeah, just like you said, Maru, it is a map that must be won by Dart Monkeys if they want to feel confident onto the second map of their choice. We are ready for Agent Select. Take it over.
And here we go into Breeze yet again. Maru, a very interesting map for compositions. And what are you liking so far on either side? We've got a few lock-ins already.
Yeah, I am curious to see. I am kind of expecting, yesterday we talked a little bit about seeing Viper a lot, and I expect to see Viper a lot today too. Breeze is a Viper-friendly map, as is Icebox. So I am going to guess we will likely be gifted with Viper's presence, and we can see here we have one already locked in. Zoe also hovering Viper, since her Viper the other day was pretty strong. Not surprised to see Chamber again either, Jojo. I think we've seen Chamber quite a lot more than we did at the last GCA.
Yes, that is the thing that I was going to say. I mean, in almost every map that we saw yesterday, there was a Chamber player. Kami, kind of the staple Chamber on the side of Dart Monkeys, and Cat on the side of Polaris, also choosing that Chamber. We've seen some clean shots from both Cat and Luna. So potential for a lot of operator on this map, holding halls, holding out on mid, or even backside B. If Luna is able to get onto an off angle, that's even more dangerous. But yeah, look at those compositions, nearly mirrored. The only difference that I'm seeing here, actually there's no difference, is there, Maru? It's completely mirrored.
Nope, it is mirror comp. And the one thing I will say that I noticed is Ira is on Sky, and we saw her playing a lot of Duelist yesterday, but you know, we joked a little bit. Skye is kind of a duelist, if you think about it. So it definitely seems like she's fulfilling that role here. But I'm unsurprised to see Zoe playing Viper. She is absolutely a fantastic Viper main. Marisa also very strong on Viper. We saw her yesterday. Marisa had a couple lineup attempts, didn't quite pan out on a couple of her tries, but had them kind of down. So both of these players very, very skilled at using Viper and knowing what to do with her. And so I think it's going to come down to one, who's the better Viper, and two, who can take advantage of some of this momentum here as we look. Here comes the walls down, and very much kind of a push through mid, it looks like.
It is going to be a push from mid from a few members there. Dart Monkeys trying to snag some shots, but instead it is Koro who has been tagged up just down to 70 HP. No shield in this initial pistol round, and now Zoe going to push up with her team. A few shots not connecting on Koro, but Koro is very low, needs to be careful here, has a Sheriff, so if Koro can just get a few nice headshots, they're going to be able to escape this one. But look at how many members of Polaris are in mid right now. Marisa has the capability of putting a dent in this. Zoe needs to be so careful. Oh, man.
That was a scary one. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, they are pushing on to A. The bomb is in possession of Dysphoric, who has Kami to back them up. But is it going to matter? Because Shaka's already on site, kind of trying to prevent the plant, or at least buy time as the team starts to rotate here. But honestly, most of Polaris is already on A, and a lot of... Oh, look, Dart Monkeys are actually going to try and go back to B. They have plenty of time. Kami can kind of hold the flank as they push back out, but they do have 25 seconds left to get to B site.
It almost looks like a re-hit A. They're going to rotate around through double doors, but no one is buying it on the side of Polaris. Initially, Luna getting that first pick, and the time is ticking at this point. Maru, another clean headshot. Luna and Shaka in combination. 5 seconds left and just one remaining. Ira cannot do anything as Cat secures that initial round, picking up the Sheriff. And that is 1-0 Polaris, opening up with a bang.
Yeah, and that is kind of core to their team play. They tend to go pretty hard and loud as a team. I mean, we saw them yesterday get a flawless right off the bat in pistol round, and very close to getting another one here with just Shaka and Starlight going down. But I mean, at the same time, Luna getting 3 kills, really nice amount of bonus off of that. So we shall see what they can do here. This time, though, Dart Monkeys, maybe just due to the eco, right? You don't have any guns, may as well go loud and go fast. And look at this, pushing straight onto A, running essentially as fast as they can to get on site. Look, even the plant, Koro just trying to get the money from that plant as fast as possible as poor Starlight and Ira get taken out. Both of the Skies down as Shaka here is looking to defend site as their team comes from mid, but oh, that's gonna hurt. Kami getting a nice kill on Cat there, and the flank is not working out. Polaris is actually having a tough time getting back onto their own site here.
This is very dire straits at this point for Polaris. They are able to get one, but it's so many players. Yeah,
wow.
Just when you're in a 4v2 battle, and a lot of those guns that were bought on the side of Polaris have now been recovered by Dart Monkeys, it was very tricky to retake that site. But a detrimental round for Polaris to lose. They're going to be forced to full save here. No bonus available, and instead Dart Monkeys buying up.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of a tough one. You know, usually you win pistol round and you want to then win the eco round just to force the enemy team onto a little bit of a disadvantage when they do finally buy up. And instead, the Thrifty giving so much momentum here to Dart Monkeys at the start. If anything, it kind of shows that I think both of these teams are eager to win today. Both of them are absolutely just pushing as hard as they can. And look at Marisa with the control on that Vandal. Oh, and poor Shaka just getting sprayed by 3 people, goes down. Again, Spike is going to come out as Luna and Zoe rotate on the site. But I mean, Zoe has a shorty, which I love and support, but also I don't think it's going to win against Vandals on this particular post-plant scenario.
The only one who can possibly do something here is Cat on the flank. No one really wants to peek them at this point. 45 HP to their name, however, and Luna now with a rifle in hand, able to get one headshot. This is actually turning around so beautifully.
Oh, wow.
Only one left. It is Marisa. and too many angles for her to check. Another thrifty round. This just proves to Dart Monkeys, you're not the only ones who can win a thrifty.
Yeah, I mean, that was really well played. Zoe picking up the Spectre and getting the kill there at the end. But honestly, Luna and Kat absolutely taking advantage of what they had to work with, Sheriffs and Headhunter respectively, and just pushing back against Dart Monkeys. Really solid, you know, plant. They got the plant down fast. They really had a couple of good fights. But look at this, Kat already with the op, going for probably a quick peek and then TP away with Trademark here, and gets one. Gets Kami immediately, does give Koro the chance to get away and pops Bladestorm, but is that really going to matter is going to depend, because now Luna holding mid as Shaka fights against Marisa here in Halls. Koro does get Luna though. Nice Bladestorm headshot there as Marisa fighting with that Arcane Sheriff against a Vandal. Oh, another beautiful knife from Koro, and that operator is now down. That is 4,700 credits, and Koro, meanwhile, 3 kills as they get onto B site. Shaka getting the flank, gets one, isn't able to connect on Koro, just can't quite find the angle there. Ira looking to kind of push out. Oh my god, you're right, the spike is in mid.
This is not what we wanted to see coming out from Dart Monkeys. Starlight able to hold that one very strong. Blinding Light finds where the players are, and Koro, who has been so great with the Bladestorm, has to be better here, and 42 HP, but secures this kill onto Starlight.
Oh, denied the ace. They do still get the win though. Another thrifty round from Dart Monkeys, Jojo, but we literally almost had an ace Bladestorm. What a play from Koro. They should be absolutely pumped after that. I can only imagine the Dart Monkeys comms must be popping off. That was fantastic. Just really well, you know, taking advantage of that, you know, no movement error, you know, just gotta aim your crosshair in the right place and get that kill. So really, really great job on that from them. And boy, this is such a different start than we expected. Just back and forth. Both teams are, it is funny because right, they're winning their ecos, right? They're on an eco and they win. The other team's on a full buy and they lose. Cat barely escapes a 20 HP.
Look at this buy though, Maru. Luna on an operator and everyone else on pistols or a judge. I don't understand this hero buy. I mean, the spike still has not been dedicated, so it is possible that the team of Dart Monkeys is going to push into that operator hanging out on A site. But the majority of the members of Dart Monkeys at this point are over on B. Luna is waiting for any noise, any peaks coming out of A, hoping that Dart Monkeys is not going to expect an operator to be in her hands. But at this point, Mario, we're just at a stalemate. No one wants to give another team the peak, the first blood, or any kind of advantage. And it is Dart Monkeys who have to plant the spike. They have to play for objective, and it looks like this operator buy may be the key for Polaris.
Yeah, we shall see. It is looking a little scary here. I mean, 30 seconds left. They are likely now going to get this plant because they've managed to kind of fake the full rotate. But Luna notices the Seeker coming her way and actually goes back on the site. However, she is the only one there and has an op. She actually didn't see Koro jump on top of bricks. That actually might be huge because Luna not getting that peek kill may have given them enough space to know people are there. And look, they're all holding, you know, deep angles. They don't want to look out at Luna. Kami, though, tries to get the kill, pulls away. Luna can't connect with the op, and it is going to be a bloody one here. The Molly comes out to protect the plant. Koro again trying to push up, sees 3 people. Dysphoric finally gets a kill here. Meanwhile, the bodies are starting to drop as Shaka pulls up. Koro finds Luna not looking to the left thanks to that. Oh wow, and this is a huge turnaround for Dart Monkeys. Shaka is going to collect some heads though. Look at these sheriff kills, beautiful plays, triple kill, but the bomb still goes off and Dart Monkeys now up 3-2.
And I don't even know if we could call that a save round for Polaris. We saw Luna on the operator, and she is not going to be able to buy anything coming into this one, but a few members of her team can buy some Vandals and full shields. But on the other side, Dart Monkeys able to save those 2 guns from the previous round, and everyone else has a pretty secure economy. purchasing guns again. And speaking of, I mean, ultimates too, Kami has Tour de Force available even if they were not able to purchase a gun here. Also got Viper's Pit, so Marisa probably going to be angling for that. Maybe a quick hit onto A and then popping that one to secure the post plant.
Oh, Cat using the Tour de Force shot to kill a Tasmanian Tiger only gets 5 bullets, so that's a little risky. I mean, obviously they are instant kills, so you can still try to collect with that, but that means that she can't miss any more shots with her ultimate here. And look, they're not going to be able to even be seen. They duck through as Marisa meets up with them at ropes, and this A execute is looking like it's going to start. Luna trying to find somebody, just trying to gain some info here, hoping maybe for the Bladestorm to do a good bit of work. Pulls out the shorty. The Hunter's Fury, though, enough. She does get one, but Kami there to clean up. The Hunter's Fury just too much for Koro to deal with. As
there we go. Viper's Pit has been popped at this point. It's a huge task now for Polaris to push into this. Cat wanting to enter with the Tour de Force, doesn't know if they should use the pistol. And it's just gonna be so hard. Starlight has to get something here on the flank, and that's one. That's two. As the Viper's Pit has dropped. Dysphoric, last one standing, unfortunately could not get much more. But what an amazing retake coming out of Polaris.
Yeah, I don't even know if Kat actually knew where Marisa was, and that might have just been a lucky shot with the Tour de Force. She managed to just kill Viper and then picked up another as the walls came down on the Viper's Pit. And that is a big, big pickup for Polaris, tying the game back up, but also letting them regain a little bit of economic sort of safety here. Because not only do they get some guns off of the Dart Monkeys, but now they can start to at least buy, you know, their full kits, even though they're still a little broke. I mean, the money situation for this team is still kind of bad. Cat literally sitting at 0, Zoe also at 0 creds. So if they don't win this round, JoJo, it's going to be even more dire. I think we'll be seeing some really ugly buys. And here comes the Viper's Pit from Zoe on B to prevent this push.
It is a great read coming out from Zoe. There were a lot of players waiting to push onto B site from main, and Zoe has just denied everything. Does get spotted out, though, by Trailblazer, but can back up enough to save her life. And now, lots of action happening over here, actually on the other site where the spike is not located. Cat with that initial operator shot, yes, but instead it is 2 players on the side of Dart Monkeys getting 2 of their own, and suddenly you see Polaris at a disadvantage. Viper's Pit has fallen here, and it seems like B site is completely free.
Oh wow, nice Kami. Just the chambers are popping off with their Tour de Forces in these rounds, JoJo. That was a brutal drop shot from Kami, and now it is up to Luna all by herself, has a Vandal, and it's probably better to try and save the Vandal if she can get a kill or 2. She does get at least 1 on Dysphoric, and so it is 3v1, but is it worth pushing up against to potentially drop this rifle when you know if your team loses this, as the time starts dripping away here, it's going to be unlikely anyone's going to be able to buy anything.
She kind of is already aware, yeah, both sides are on poor economies, wanted to go for some more kills, but Ira making quick work of that. I'm gonna bring in that rifle to this next round. I thought maybe Luna was gonna go for the operator that Cat had dropped down in Crows in mid, but tried to get some kills and it just did not work out there. So that means Polaris yet again on a save round, but considering we've had 3 thrifties in a row, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking before the game started like what we expected, and I'll be honest, this is not the start to Breeze I expected here. Dart Monkeys are not only keeping a small lead in terms of rounds, but the aggression from Dart Monkeys is really, it seems like maybe throwing Polaris off a little bit. This is one of the shakier we've seen Polaris in this game changer so far. And I mean, Luna, though, knows what to do with that Sheriff and gets a kill. Unfortunately, does go down. But honestly, it seems like every team does better when they have no guns than when they have full guns. I don't know what's happening.
It doesn't really make sense at all, though, does it, Maru? But Shaka trying to push in again, now picks up the rifle, and this could be a game changer. Starlight and Shaka need to use their initiator powers together and take down. That's one. Two left. Maru, they know where Marisa is hiding, but it's Ira who has the special positioning, and that peek out was too much for both players to handle. What a great post-plant hold coming out from Dart Monkeys, and a great try from Polaris on a save.
Yeah, we see here the timeout coming for Polaris, which not unexpected. I mean, this is probably the most down in rounds we've seen them. We did have the game yesterday start off with a little bit of a rocky back and forth, but then Polaris really just burst through after their timeout and just won like every single round after that. Here, maybe they're looking to figure out, like, what do we need to be doing different? How do we, you know, recover our momentum here? Because while they do get to buy up, I mean, again, if they lose this round, they're gonna be forced to save again. They lose that round, then they get to buy, right? So the constant back and forth is really then how many rounds are you gonna give up before the half? So we'll see what this timeout brings for Polaris. But I mean, again, that was a great post plan. The back corner by Marisa there, so she could throw the mollies, and they basically played into defender spawn. Really good play.
Yeah, and probably not expected at all from Polaris where those specific angles they were holding were, and that is the advantage that Dart Monkeys was able to take and run with. But yeah, speaking of, Polaris needs to switch this around really, really quickly. Looking at those stats again from previous times they played Breeze, they've had equal success on both defense and attack. So it's not like, you know, they're so much worse on defense and they're going to bring it back on attack. It's possible, but they want to get as many rounds as possible now on defense because they know that that attack half is not going to guarantee them a win.
Yeah, and we can see here scouting through halls as Koro holds it with the operator. Tommy, meanwhile, in shops, getting supported by the drone. So we'll see as this sort of push. Look at how far up we have. Look. She's gonna, oh my god, Koro just getting Shaka and the Tasmanian Tiger gonna clear out the rest. Allows them to find, actually, Cat hiding in the back by door. This is already off to a pretty good start for the Dart Monkeys, but I think they might actually be considering taking the spike over to B.
That is probably a great call by them. It is just Starlight in mid, but just Starlight in mid is telling a lot. Able to grab one before this fork swings out and gets that headshot onto Starlight, and now it is a completely free site over on B. Koro still needs to ensure that that is the case, as many members of Polaris need to rotate quickly. Cat opening shots on mid. We've evened out numbers here. Cat pushing through. Luda also, suddenly everything is looking downhill. What is happening? Cat 3K switching this round completely around.
Yeah, that shot in the back to Dysphoric was so clutch. Forced the spike out of position, and Ira getting picked off by Cat as well. Really didn't allow any flank movement, and poor Marisa left and be long, basically, coming from attacker side, just could not do much against trying to recover the spike and taking out 3 people. So, I mean, hey, maybe that pull has worked out because this was a really good round from Polaris. Even Starlight, that nice lurk into mid, just, you know, Koro dropping literally out of the sky from the shoot definitely seemed to have threw her off, and she kind of lost that battle because of it. But I mean, hey, whatever works, right? Here comes Koro. We've seen Koro do great stuff with Bladestorm so far today, so we'll see if they can recover another 4K or maybe even an ace this time.
There are some counter ults, however, we've got Starlight Seekers ready, so if needed, can pop that to at least delay. There we go, Cat. You do not want to peek Cat with the operator. Ira trying to challenge that mid hold again, but instead gets Trailblazered directly in the body. Gonna be stunned for a few seconds, and Koro still has Bladestorm available, not really choosing to push in with it, but these Seekers are going to open the way for Koro to push in, and blinded Starlight gets that kill onto Koro.
Oh, wow. The Hunter's Fury, though, meanwhile, Cat doing work with that operator, doing more work, 3 kills with the operator. It's just beautiful, beautiful gunplay from Cat. in this game so far. Zoe cleaning up this Foric there, and it is now a tied game. Jojo, we now have Polaris pulling back into this, giving us a closer game than we had before, and it is now also giving them a little bit more money. And here comes a timeout from Dart Monkeys, probably not unexpected here, as, you know, look, that execute went pretty bad. So if I'm Dart Monkeys, is saying, okay, what do we need to do? One of the things that definitely they need to do is stay away from Cat, because wherever she is with that operator seems to be very, very dangerous. She had a really great peek out from Nest there. She avoided the Trailblazer, actually hearing it, ducking back in, and then re-peeking it once it had gone past her. Great play. 3 kills later, the round is basically over. So I'm not sure what Dart Monkeys need to figure out, but that push, not it. So maybe they're sort of split, quick, you know, hits, get a pick, go to the other site. That seems to work for them. So let's see what happens when this timeout runs out.
We have to think about what has worked in the past, and that has been a great post-plant hold after dashing into site, getting many picks, and then, you know, suddenly your Dart Monkeys, you just find yourself with numbers advantage. All of these plays where they are rotating, it's allowing Polaris to play for retake to save their numbers, and especially when one of those players is Cat left alive, the shots are just going to consistently come through. So what they need to do, I think, is to continuously push, hard push a singular site, do not rotate, and just try and play for those picks, because that's what's worked in the past.
Yeah, and look, I think they heard you, Jojo, because this is one of the more aggressive pushes they've had. Even Starlight really can't do a lot, does get 1 pick, but that does put them still on that numbers disadvantage, right? Defense, you really can't lose someone in a trade like that, and it is going to allow the Hunter's Fury to take Marisa out, though. Shaka just getting that, almost tagging up Koro as well. So Kat is doing her work here, trying to get onto site, swapped to the Vandal for this retake, knowing that this is a more close combat scenario and no one's really going to peek. Oh my god, Kat just knew, shoots through the wall. Zoe, meanwhile, peeking out, and it all kind of came tumbling down there, unfortunately, for the Dart Monkeys, as Polaris now collects some guns, gets some fun skins, and defuse. And that is a team ace for Polaris.
But let's think about how that round went, Mario. They were able to plant the spike, and by the time it was defused, there was 10 seconds only left on it. So if they were even able to play a little bit more for time, that would have looked great for Dart Monkeys. So that is the kind of style that I'm looking for them to continue. But unfortunately, it seems like they're going for a mid-push potential lurk play over on A. Meanwhile, Polaris stacking A and Halls with just 1 member. It is Starlight holding B alone in tunnel.
Yeah, and Starlight just kind of looking to figure out what to do. Gets tagged by the recon bolt and is going to pull back a little bit. But yeah, this solo push seems like they are defaulting, as you mentioned. And I don't know, the aggressive push did get them on site, but it kind of didn't work out. So that said, I mean, they have guns, and they were Kami getting a nice shot onto Cat there, taking out probably one of the top players of Polaris in this map so far, and that is probably a big pick. And look, we see here Zoe coming out to maybe re-peek / find maybe a revenge kill, but I think that gave Dart Monkeys the signal, let's go to B.
This is what we were expecting with that initial pick. Just, again, Starlight holding B alone. Trailblazer not going to find anything in mid, but they need to execute this take very quickly, because members of Polaris are rotating over at this point. They've got 40 seconds left, so I don't know if they really want to commit to B yet. Luna on site, Blade Storm ready. We've got the Viper wall coming out, and Luna trying to updraft and get some picks. Does get 2, though. One of them blinded. All of these blind kills.
Oh my god,
it is a massacre on site. Starlight, Luna, beautiful hold.
Yeah, maybe Luna said, you know what, I'm just going to throw these knives out. I don't need them, because then she got some really sick headshots. Turned that round completely upside down for Dart Monkeys. That patient push out, you know, seemed like getting the pick on Cat was going to be a big opener, and then just unable to, as Luna and Starlight just went to town there. So Polaris looking to close this half out, at the very least, up over Dart Monkeys, 2 rounds, possibly 3 here. But let's see, we could get very close to a tied game with this first pistol round coming out, as we now see if Polaris's attack will be as devastating as their defense.
And we know that not with these two teams, it's not necessarily who wins the pistol who's going to win the next one. Polaris able to grab that initial pistol, but Dart Monkeys bringing it back with some vengeance with the second round. So that initial drone, there's a little bit of information gathered on who is at A. Koro thinking about who's going to be in halls. I don't know if you could updraft his jet and get up there. I don't think that's a thing. But yeah, Koro's still holding mid. Very, very aggressive and forward position. So if Starlight is able to walk through with at least one other teammate and go for that trade out, a pick onto Koro would be instrumental for them in this round.
Yeah, and it will be potentially, look, Kat did get tagged a little bit at 78 HP right now, so she's kind of holding. And look, there, I mean, Koro does know now that I think someone is there, as Luna starts making a little bit of noise up there, giving some key indication. Zoe starting to bring Spike to A, but honestly, they've kind of given halls up. I mean, the alarm bot from Chamber is there, but they're not really going to push through there, so that's not going to give you as much information as you'd hope. Ira doing her best to fire into sight, just trying to like tag someone or maybe make them think about not planting, but Starlight just goes and takes Ira out. Says, stop that, stop shooting at me. Luna can't connect against Kami. Kat does get Koro, so both jets are now down, and the plant has to come out. They are at the limit here, 10 seconds left. They need 4 just to plant, but it doesn't matter as Starlight cleans up 3 kills and plant money too, so 8-5. And now, Jojo, Polaris seems like they've stepped on the gas.
Something about that round felt like an adaptation to me. I'm so used to Polaris being so aggressive, pushing in, but they waited so long. They wanted to make sure everyone was in their set positions after that pick mid, that initial pick on A. Everyone was coordinated and ready to hold it down. And even though there was a lot of time pressure there, they were able to secure the plant, and maybe they didn't even need the plant there because they got so many picks on site. So that was a great adaptation. Polaris needs to continue doing just that. And look at, Dart Monkeys are falling into it yet again. Ira pushing down mid, trying to be counter-aggressive and getting punished for it.
Yeah, that is huge. So we will see that at least this Ford gets healed up, but you know, the one downside of Sky's heal is she can't heal herself. So unfortunately for Ira, she's gonna have to deal with being at less than half health as they start pushing. Looks like now they want to go B. Zoe kind of sneaking around mid in halls, trying maybe to catch somebody there before joining her team. Oh, Kami, beautiful kill onto Cat as they then TP away. And the Pathfinder or Trailblazer will come out to see Marisa, who's stuck in a corner with a shorty, and Luna, what a great marginal shot there, just takes her down. And now they are on site. The spike is coming, and Koro having to come up the backside here from attacker spawn, but Zoe's already managed to close the gap and get onto elbow.
This flank from Koro is probably going to need to be perfect. Luna ready with those martial shots. And Koro able to get one on the back, but Luna getting one on site. And this martial has to be amazing. They know exactly where Koro is at, and it is Koro who has the task ahead of them. They need to push into sight, and they need to stick this defuse. Luna missing that initial martial shot. 19 HP on Koro. Oh my gosh, they're going to have to push her.
No.
There we go. Unfortunate for Koro. A beautiful flank attempt and some interesting shots from Luna, but Starlight able to close it out. And this is a 4-round lead, the biggest lead we've seen in this game so far. Polaris seeming to be running away with it.
Yeah, the timeouts definitely seem to be working in Polaris's favor. Definitely seems like they've recovered their mental, and the swap to attack has so far really gone Polaris's way. I mean, that flank from Koro, they did a great job getting that one kill. Almost managed to get the 2. Unfortunately, just kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place there at the pillar. And now we shall see what happens as, you know, honestly, they haven't really bought that much. Look at this weird bonus round from Polaris. I mean, they're using sheriffs and inspectors. I mean, I know they have the money, but it seems like they're just banking on, you know, hey, if we lose this one, whatever. You know, we can lose this round. Let's see what we can do with these cheap guns that we've kept.
Marisa wanting to do a lot of utility damage here, has that orb up and running. And now the rotation actually towards mid. This is probably what Polaris want to do. There we go, Luna taking down. That's one gun down, but Ira having none of it. Spraying down, Luna falls instead. Still, this is a bonus round for Polaris. Anything they can do, any guns that they can leave on the ground at the end of this round is going to be a win for them. Even if they could just get this plant down, an A site looking to be the targeted site, completely free at this point. But Dart Monkey's close to being able to stop something from going down here. Dysphoric drone out, Seekers popped as well, and it's going to be a battle.
Oh, Ira just can't connect. Phantom kind of losing out to the Sheriff there, unfortunately. Dysphoric does get Cat, who did pick up Kami beforehand, though. So it's now a 2v3 retake, even though, never mind, Zoe with the flank on the Sheriff manages to close it out on Dysphoric. It's now 3v1. Marisa has a full gun, but honestly, Polaris just kind of styling on them in this round with Sheriffs and Marshals. It is a really bad round here for Dart Monkeys. This is a huge disadvantage to lose a rifle round like that. Look at the, I mean, Koro 50 credits, Aira, Dysphoric 0. They can't buy almost anything. And here comes a timeout from Dart Monkeys. Like, how do you recover from that round, Jojo?
As soon as you see those double digits, and especially when it's double digits with a 5-round differential, you have to think about what you can do differently. Now, keep in mind, that was Polaris's save almost. It was their bonus. They were not supposed to win that at all, and they were not supposed to win it with 3 members left alive. Dart Monkeys just kind of walked into a lot of their traps, walked into their crosshairs, and let them take that site. They needed to be more aggressive there because they should have known at least that they had the better guns and wanted to use them to their advantage. But unfortunately now, like you said, Maru, they cannot buy here. So this timeout, they want to be talking about what they can do on their next buy. We have seen one thrifty round coming out from them, but compared to this team of Polaris, who seem already so strong on defense or on attack, it's going to be very challenging. So on their next buy round, probably just keeping up that aggression. That is what they do so well. And I don't know why Dart Monkeys would really want to change something that they're doing great at.
Yeah, and look here, we see the full buy coming out now from Polaris, who honestly were able to convert 900 credit guns into a win for 2 rounds in a row. And Kat now on her operator does get the kill onto Dysphoric. Actually almost hesitated on the scope in there, but Dysphoric unable to click the head first. Zoe, meanwhile, getting a kill onto Kami is really going to start opening up this map for Polaris to start running away. Ira with a really cheeky peek onto mid from this angle. Zoe can't connect with the flank, just too many people there, and that is unfortunate. But now, can they close out? Look at Cat from behind, coming from Nest. Doesn't actually get it. Ira goes down and takes the op with her at least. Let's see, can Luna actually, nope, Luna can't actually get to the op in time, so they just don't worry about it. I guess they can buy another one.
They should be able to buy another one, but guess who else can buy another one? It is Koro choosing to go for the operator. And am I seeing what I think I'm seeing, Maru? Is this a double op for the side of Dart Monkeys?
Oh, I don't know about this, Jojo. I will say that op on attack is usually not a great move, but on Breeze, maybe. There's so much open space, so many long alleys that you could look at. But look at Kami just running basically straight into point blank range and can't TP fast enough before Luna kills with the Vandal. So that is one operator down. And now, will that buy have been a mistake, as Dysphoric does collect Luna there, but Kat doing work with her operator. And it's kind of falling apart because both operators are down. Zoe now picking up another one as she starts to move her way onto site. Look at this, Cat again, just up in their business. Era getting the kill, Dysphoric. Okay, this one's not going Polaris' way so far, but Cat does have this flank. Can she do anything with it is the question. She's going to be able to get a kill. I don't know if she's going to be able to stop the defuse though. Nope, and goes down for it. Valiant effort, but I don't know, maybe double op was a mistake.
It might have been a mistake because I don't think it was instrumental in that round at all. It made no difference that there were 2 ops. I mean, Polaris kind of fearless on these attack rounds, but Dart Monkey is able to secure that defuse, and maybe, just maybe, that is telling them the way that they have to continue playing these rounds. Polaris, great on their aggression, great on their attacks, albeit slow attacks. So maybe Dart Monkeys need to back up, give them that sight, and then just play for retake, because the only round they have won on defense so far is a defuse.
Yeah, and there is the tour de force. Kami, very, very dangerous position. Cat, meanwhile, Jesus, these dueling chambers are just doing so much work for their respective teams. Both Kami and Cat just going to town on each other's teammates. This is just devastating here. Polaris now, women advantage down, 2 dead, but you do still have Cat, you have Viper's Pit, and you have Hunter's Fury. If you can get onto a site, it's feasible to definitely clutch this out if they have the real estate to take up.
Very, very quiet at this point in time. Dart Monkeys spread across the whole map, waiting for noise, waiting for a peek. They know they have numbers advantage, and they're going to try and use that. Dysphoric teaming up on site A, and that seems to be where the spike has to go here. We've got 30 seconds left on the clock, so the time is now. Cat with a great positioning up indoor, but Kami knows exactly where Cat is at. Zoe able to pop Viper's Pit, making it that much more difficult for a retake for Dart Monkeys to defuse this. Spike has been planted, and now Dysphoric popping Hunter's Fury, trying to see where that Viper is at, but Zoe dodging perfectly, and she's about to get pushed. Koro.
Oh, Zoe collects on Marisa, firing off the Vipers. I don't know if that's going to stop them from defusing long enough. Shaka is back of cave, does have the Hunter's Fury. They didn't get it to half, so this is actually going to be huge. Going to force her to stop the ult early, though. Can't go for the third. Oh, can't find Koro, looking the wrong way fast enough, and Dysphoric now gets the defuse for the team, and this is now 2 rounds in a row, Jojo, for Dart Monkeys. Are we looking at the start of a comeback here?
It is definitely possible, but considering the economy of Polaris, they're going to be able to buy again for this round. This, I don't know if it's going to be their last buy possible. Well, maybe not even everyone's going to be able to buy here. So probably going to be their last buy possible. They need to make this particular round work, and everything just seems so up in the air now with Koro popping off with the operator. Kind of a slow start for them. We saw a near ace with the Blaze Storm early on, but now operator in hand, absolutely feeling themselves. So during this timeout, Polaris needs to figure out how Dart Monkeys have adapted. They're playing really, really well on these defuse rounds, and 2 in a row, not the end of the world, but Polaris needs to stop that right now.
Yeah, and if we take a second during timeout to think about KDA, Cat, top of the leaderboard, 20 kills, only 12 deaths. Koro, 18 and 16. So while Koro is getting a big number advantage in terms of kills, dying about as often as they get a kill. So that is one of the bigger stories here. Cat is really outperforming her KDA. Luna right behind with 17. And then after that, it's basically Polaris all the way down in terms of KDA. So this is potentially a big problem, right? They're getting a lot more kills, and even though they are losing some rounds, usually those rounds they lose come at a huge economic cost to the Dart Monkeys, who have to then rebuy almost everything. Oh,
initial pick from Koro. We were just talking about it. That operator, very, very dangerous. We do have a Viper's Pit popped for Marisa on site B. Probably going to force this rotate, but look at how far that Zoe has traveled in halls. Kami, oh my
Oh.
gosh, attempts to TP out of there, but Luna denying that one. Evens out the numbers, and this positional advantage from Zoe is so dangerous for Dart Monkeys. Nobody knows that she's hiding here.
Exterminated.
My God, and Zoe, beautiful lurk kill there. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you get the most kills, sometimes it matters which kills you get. And look, this is giving Zoe such an advantage on people because she's able to just kind of come from behind where they don't expect her to be. And that pick onto Kami earlier, that was so devastating because that should have been the start of a really big push out for the defense. Zoe again getting another kill and another one from behind.
Wow.
3 kills that round from Zoe, showing kind of why she's in charge of this team. And Polaris now on match point. Jojo, this has definitely been a close game, but at this point Polaris sitting at the cusp of only needing one more victory to close out this GCA and go home. And honestly, Dart Monkeys kind of have an uphill battle. This is not a best of 3 where you can afford to lose a map because you're not fighting people that don't know what they're doing. You're fighting Polaris, undefeated so far this weekend, have not lost a single map. If you lose this map, it's going to be so difficult to force a game 3.
The one wild card that Dart Monkeys has is Koro pulling out that Blade Storm, and the site is perfect. The site chosen is B, and that is where Koro is standing. Oh no, Zoe taking down Koro instantly, and everything is looking dire for Dart Monkeys. Marisa,
Oh no, Marisa
walking through the wall, and this spike is gonna get planted, and it seems like such a simple retake.
Oh, but is it though? Luna does go to town, 3 kills, only Dysphoric left, and this is, no, that's it, Jojo. Game 1 in the bag for Polaris, 13-7, but I don't know about you, Jojo, but I kind of get a feeling like there are a few cracks in Polaris's armor. That was one of the closer games we've seen from them, and it was very shaky at the beginning. So what do you think they're going to have to do in game 2 to close this out?
I mean, really surprised that there were so many thrifty rounds in the beginning. I think Polaris maybe was not fully in it there and just allowed that thrifty to kind of go in the wrong direction. But they did get some thrifties of their own kind of further in the map. It felt like they were more comfortable. They got to know Dart Monkey's playstyle a little bit better, and that is what gave them the advantage in that second half of play. So hopefully coming into the next map, Polaris is going to be aware of how Dart Monkeys plays and is going to be able to combat that, especially after this longer break. They're going to talk with their coach, talk with their team, and kind of figure out how to prevent that close of a scoreline from happening again, because it was only 5 rounds away from overtime.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a tough one. So we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, it's going to be Polaris, potentially tournament point for them on Icebox, a map that we know they're very comfortable on. So get some snacks, take a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes, everybody.
You talk to me like breeze, running free, beautiful images everywhere. Yeah. You take a picture of us kissing in cars. It makes my day 10 times better. Yeah. Playing like children and love like RNG. You were too good for me, but I wanted you anyway. I always loved you over my head, even when you lived alone to make your parents mad. Say goodbye to your old life, turn the page, follow my bed. I don't care if loving you over